What's going on, you guys? Kenny here, also known as SolidFan85. I'm checking my levels right now. Oh, it looks a little rough right now, but welcome to another vlog. Batman. For those that don't know, I am a huge DC fanboy, and if you have any history on this channel, you probably know this better than anybody. Robert Pattinson as Batman. I haven't touched on this yet a whole lot. I saw the screen reveal where he kind of comes out dressed as Batman. It's intriguing. I don't know if I'm fully on board with that yet, because here's the thing. The Batman I grew up with was big, formidable, intimidating. This is in the early years of Batman. Matt Reeves' The Batman is taking place in the earlier years, kind of like Batman Year One, which is one of my favorite animated movies as well as comic arcs. But I don't know how this is going to work out. Now, from my understanding, Matt Reeves, the director, studied under a comic writer. I forget his name, but he knows the comics. The question is, how well is that knowledge going to translate onto the screen? I don't doubt Pattinson. I mean, look, honestly, the only thing I know Pattinson from, I'm one of those people, Twilight, you know, but I was never really a big fan of Twilight. I watched a couple of the movies, and limited acting, in my opinion. But people evolve. People can get better at their art, and a lot of actors are good at that. Actresses, too. But I don't know. I hope it doesn't fall into the trap of a fantastic Bruce Wayne, but when it comes to The Dark Knight, might fall short. I don't know. That's a fear I have. That's a fear I have of all of them. Except for Ben Affleck. I mean, look, I'm a huge Batfleck fanboy. I think he did an awesome job as Batman. He was a fantastic Bruce Wayne. And most of the time, it's usually one-sided. It's usually just they were a great Bruce Wayne, not so much a Batman. But on the reveal, just touching on some of the stuff, the suit, what doesn't grab me is the cowl. The cowl, it looks like cosplay, at least in the photos I've seen. In the video I watched, it looks like cosplay. It's early footage. It could be better. It probably, hopefully, will be better, but it just looks like somebody took a can and just molded it to his head. I don't know. It's really kind of reminiscent of the old Adam West TV series. How the Batman's helmet or the cowl helmet never really fit a whole lot. It looked like the helmet, the cowl, was just a little too big for Adam West's head, and that's kind of what I see here. It's like you still got a 3-inch gap between the top of the scalp and the top of where the cowl sits. I don't know. It looks weird. The bottom part looks pretty cool. And honestly, maybe that's where it kind of works into it. Maybe this is working into the whole thing of he's figuring it out. Because in Batman Year One, I love Batman Year One. It's where he gets his mission. It's where he starts to develop his skills. It's where, it's just fantastic. And here's hoping that maybe there's a little bit of that. I don't know if they're going to take from Year One, but here's hoping there's a little bit of that. That would be awesome, actually. So he's developing. He's figuring it out. Supposedly with the script, they're going to be going a more detective route. He's going to be more of a detective than a crime fighter. So maybe they're developing that. Maybe that's where this is going to go. I don't know. But what I can say is from the early test footage, it could get better. I don't know. What I will say, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but the symbol, historically, there's a theory. I don't know if it was ever confirmed by a writer or not, but historically, the Batman symbol in the center of the chest always had extra padding, extra bulletproof material, because he wanted his enemies. It was a distraction. He wanted his enemies to fire or stab for the chest. That's why it was there. You know, it was normally yellow with a bat symbol or something like that. It was really more of a target, so they didn't go for the head kind of thing. You ever wondered about that? How like you never really see anybody try to shoot Batman in the head? You know, it was touched on in Batman v Superman. He did shoot him in the back of the head with in the cowl, and it kind of bounced and pinged off. It still hurt like hell. But they never really go for the head. I mean, you got this huge open jaw thing, you know, on the cowl, and they never just think, no, dude, shoot for the weak point, you know. But then again, what are you gonna say? Criminals are stupid. But yeah, that was always the thing. He wanted, it was a target, you know, wanted people to shoot there to stop a bullet or to stop a stabbing. So I don't know how I feel about that. There's a theory that it's supposed to be the gun that shot his parents, and he just molded it into a bat symbol. Maybe it's some sort of gadget even. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of weird. What is odd about it is that it kind of takes away the primary drive of his character. Because if he has the gun, potentially he can figure out the crime and who did it. If he did figure it out, and he kept the gun as a reminder, maybe it's what drives him, or maybe they just found the gun, and whoever was doing it wore gloves, and they can't, you know, they never did. If that is the whole thing, again, it's just kind of odd. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but you know, we'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. I mean, honestly, with Joker, I was a little, I don't know how it's gonna work, but the early test footage of Joker, he it was pretty cool, but you know, over time he obviously lost some weight to really fit that persona better. But with Pattinson, or I think they're calling him R-Pat or something like that. I don't know, maybe he'll bulk up. That's the only thing. I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, I'm used to like the 80s and 90s heroes here, you know. They're they're muscular. They're formidable, you know. But that doesn't mean that there aren't formidable non-built characters out there, you know. Maybe they're just going to focus more on the brain side of the detective in the early years. And he eventually learns, you know, he's got to master some physical techniques to really build himself up later on, you know, as I say. But overall, with the early test footage, could go either way. Here's hoping it goes well, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. See you.